Good morning, students. Welcome to JCE Connect channel. We'll begin with biasing in BJT amplifier circuits. Now, why we need the biasing and what are the requirement of biasing? The biasing problem is that of establishing a constant DC current. It's a main biasing problem is that establishing a constant DC current in the collector of the BJT. This is the main requirement of biasing. I want that IC should be constant. This current has to be calculable, predictable, and insensitive to variation in the value of beta. First condition is that biasing problem is that I want that the IC should be constant and it has to be predictable, calculable, insensitive to the variation in value of beta. Another important consideration in the bias design is locating the DC bias point in IC-VCE graph to allow the maximum output signal swing. Then we'll begin with these two circuits. In this circuit, biasing is done by fixing the VBE. In this circuit, biasing is done by fixing IB. But both these circuits results in wide variation in IC. We want that IC to be constant. This will result in variation in IC, wide variation in IC. Even this results in wide variation in IC. So these two circuits are not suitable for biasing. In this, to bias the BJT by fixing VBE by using the voltage divider rule across the power supply is not a viable approach. This is not a viable approach. The very sharp exponential relationship IC and VBE means that any small and inevitable difference in VBE from desired value will result in large variation in IC. Any small variation in VBE results in large variation in IC. I'll repeat, any small variation in VBE results in large variation in IC, which is not at all required for us. We want that IC to be constant. Now here we have done biasing by IB. Biasing the BJT by establishing the constant IB, where IB is VCC minus 0.7 by RB, is also not recommendable because even this results in large variation in IC and VCE. So these two are not suitable for biasing. I'll repeat once again. In the biasing problem is that we want constant IC. Biasing problem is that we want constant IC. Now we have chosen two circuits, figure A and figure B. Figure B is biasing by fixing VBE. Figure B is biasing by fixing IB. Here VBE is constant, here IB is constant. But both these circuits results in wide range of IC. We want constant IC, but both of them give large variation in IC. So both of them are not recommendable. Small variation in VBE results in large variation in IC. Even the small variation in IB will result in large variation in IC. We want constant IC. So both are not recommendable. So next, we have gone for next is classical discrete circuit bias arrangement. This is a classical arrangement. In this arrangement, this technique consists of supplying the base current to the transistor with a fraction of VCC through the voltage divider R1 and R2, even it includes RE. Here IB is provided through potentially divided R1 and R2, potentially divided VCC through R1 and R2, and that current is given to base and RE is included. This is simplified and we get like this. This RB is R1 parallel to R2 and the base voltage VBB will be VCC into R2 by R1 plus R2, and this is RC and this is RE. This is the classical bias arrangement. In this we have certain formulas. One is VBB is equals to VCC into R2 by R1 plus R2 and RB is equals to R1 parallel to R2. Now to find IE, we need to apply the Kirchhoff's law to this loop. To find IE, we need to apply the Kirchhoff's law to this loop named as L. So we get IE after applying the Kirchhoff's law. We get IE as IE is equals to VBB minus VBE divided by RE plus RB plus RB divided by beta plus 1. To make this I insensitive to temperature, this is a condition for the proper biasing now. To make I insensitive to the temperature variation or the beta variation, we have to follow these two rules. VBB has to be very much larger than VBE and RE has to be very much larger than RB divided by beta plus 1. Then only the IE is insensitive to temperature variation. Now we have here RE. So how to select this RE? The rule number B we have to follow, because randomly I cannot place any resistance value here. It is affecting our IE, and IE has to be insensitive to temperature variation. So RE, how we select? RE is selected as greater than RB by beta plus 1. So these are the two rules I need to follow. VBB has to be very much greater. So how much it has to be greater? If it is very much greater, what happens? That we'll study now. Rule number A is that VBB has to be very much greater than VBE. If it is very much larger, then it lowers the value of sum of VC plus VCB. So what happens if it lowers the value of VC? If it lowers the value of VC, if VBB is very much large, it is lowering VC. If this VC is very much lower, then this is responsible for large voltage gain. So we don't want that VC has to be lowered. Even it is large VBB is lowering the value of VCB. Even we don't want that, because VCB is responsible for large signal swing. We want that large value of VC. We want that large value of VCB. This is responsible for gain. We don't want gain as smaller. And we want that large signal swing. So we have to select VBB such that this value should not be affected. I'll repeat once again. VBB should be very much greater than VBE. This is our criteria. If it is very much larger, it is lowering VC and VCB. But we want it has to be large, not lower. Because this is responsible for gain, this is responsible for signal swing. So how we select now? We have to select VBB about 1/3 VCC, VCB about 1/3 VCC, and ICRC is equals to 1/3 VCC. So how we select now? This is VBB 1/3 VCC, VCB 1/3 VCC, ICRC 1/3 VCC. So properly we will be not affecting our IE if we are following this rule. Second rule is RE very much greater than RB by beta plus 1. Now how we get this condition, how we obtain this condition? RB has to be small. To select RB as small, we will select R1 and R2 value as small. So this is the way how we do. Now we'll go for one numerical. This is a numerical. Design the bias network of amplifier of figure given here to establish the current IE as 1 milliamps using power supply VCC as 12 volt, and the transistor is specified to have a nominal value of 100. Now we have to design this. Now we wish to design the bias network of amplifier. Now we have to know what they are saying. We wish to design the bias network of the amplifier. Now to establish a current IE as 1 milliamps, we need to establish IE as 1 milliamps using power supply as VCC. We have to design the bias network. Given data is IE as 1 milliamps and VCC as 12 volt. This transistor is specified a nominal value of beta as 100. Now we'll follow the thumb rule, and which is mentioned as we have followed certain rules, which is 1/3 VCC across R2 and 1/3 VCC across RC, leaving 1/3 VCC for to provide signal swing at the collector. These are the rules we have to follow. 1/3 VCC across R2, we have to follow these rules. 1/3 VCC across R2, 1/3 VCC across RC, leaving 1/3 VCC for possible signal swing. These are the rules you have to follow, leaving for biasing the network. leaving 1/3 VCC for signal swing. Two rules are there, no? This is the first rule. 1/3 VCC for R2, 1/3 VCC for RC. Thus we get VB as 4 volt and VE as 4 minus VBE, which is 3.3 volt. And RE is determined from VE divided by IE, which is 3.3 by 1 milli, which is 3.3 kilo ohm. We select a voltage divider current of 0.1 IE. We select the voltage divider current of 0.1 IE, which is 0.1 milliamps. Neglecting the base current, we find R1 plus R2 as 12 divided by 0.1 milliamps, which is equals to 120 kilo ohm, and R2 divided by R1 plus R2 into VCC as 4 volt. Thus R2 becomes 40 kilo ohm and R1 becomes 80 kilo ohm. At this point, it is desirable to find a more accurate estimate for IE, taking in account the non-zero base current. Then IE is given as IE is equals to 4 minus 0.7 divided by 3.3 into 10 raised to 3 plus 80 parallel to 40 into 1 kilo ohm divided by 101, because this is a parallel, they are in K, so I have taken as kilo ohm or kilo ohm. Then we get IE as 3.3 divided by 3.3 into 10 raised to 3 plus 26.67 into 10 raised to 3 by 101. If we simplify this, we get 0.43 milliamps. This is quite a bit lower than the value we are aiming for of 1 milliamp. It is easy to see from the above equation that the simple way to restore IE to its nominal value would be to reduce RE from 3.3 kilo ohm by the magnitude of the second term in the denominator, 0.26 kilo ohm. Thus, more suitable value for IE in this case would be RE is equals to more suitable value RE is equals to 3 kilo ohm, which results in IE as 1.01 milliamps or 1 milliamp. Then design 2. If we are willing to draw more accurate from power supply and to accept a lower input resistance for the amplifier, then we use a voltage divider current, say IE, which is 1 milliamps, results in R1 equal to 8 kilo ohm and R2 equal to 4 kilo ohm, for which the actual value of IE using the initial value of 3.3 kilo ohm will be IE is equals to 4 minus 0.7 divided by 3.3 kilo plus 0.027 into 10 raised to 3, which results in 0.99 or 1 milliamps. In this case, design 2, this is design 2, we need to change the value of RE. Finally, the value of RC can be determined from RC is equals to 12 minus VC by IC. Substituting IC as alpha times IE, which is 0.99 into 1, which results in 0.99 milliamps, or which is equals to 1 milliamps for both the designs. That is RC is equals to 12 minus 8 by 1 milliamps equal to 4 kilo ohm.